distinguished professor of history at Weber State University and author of Homesickness and American History, explains. In a society that values independence, ambition, and optimism, many adults feel compelled to repress their homesickness. Mobility is regarded as a time-honored American tradition, moving on a painless and natural activity. Those who feel grief at parting hide the emotion, believing it to be a sign of immaturity, maladjustment, and weakness. Instead of displaying homesickness, Americans express hopefulness and cheerfulness, two character attributes much valued in American society. Trepidations about breaking home ties must be subordinated to sunny hopes for the future. Homesickness must be repressed. Father Richard might say that homesickness became problematic for first-half life ambitions, so we pathologized and infantilized those who experienced it. While research and history have taught me about the power of homesickness, it's my intimate relationship with homesickness that fills me with a sense of reverence, awe, and respect for the emotion. As a child, the happiest place on earth for me was my grandmother's house. She was my person, and I was her person. There was a lot of turmoil in my house growing up, and there was a lot of trauma in my grandmother's life. So we were for each other everything that was good about the world. We played cards, watched hee-haw, and went to see movies that my parents wouldn't let me see. Smokey and the Bandit was our favorite. I loved defying my parents, and she loved Burt Reynolds. It was win-win. I lived for those hot summer weeks with her in San Antonio. Yet every year, I got desperately homesick after 4 or 5 days. I came to know and hate that feeling. I could sense it coming on, creeping into my mind and sliding across my shoulders and down my arms until the sorrow reached my hands and I would find myself emotionally reaching for my parents. Even as a child, I recognized homesickness as both an emotion and a physical yearning, a desperate grasping at something that was completely out of reach. Homesickness was and is such a strange sadness. It takes the shape of low-grade grief one minute and restless desperation the next. It can crash down on us like a wave and steal our breath. Then, out of nowhere and without notice, it can pull back and we can ride the calm for a little while. After my grandmother died, I experienced an even more complex side of the emotion. I learned what it means to be homesick for a place that no longer exists. I still frequently make the trip from Houston to San Antonio. And for the first 10 years after her death, I couldn't even look at the road sign for the exit to her street. Yes, I missed her, but I also missed that sense of place. Even today, I would give anything to sit with her in the backyard under the pecan tree, listening to the call of the mourning dove or the chirping of the cicadas. Nature sounds that are nostalgic for many of us, yet sounds that I'm absolutely convinced are exclusive to Mima's backyard. A couple of years ago, my mom was diagnosed with rapid-onset dementia. As my sisters and I care for her, I'm forced to navigate a swirl of many emotions, including my old companion homesickness. It's been many decades since I've snuggled into my mother's lap. But until very recently, I always found shelter in our shared memories. That soothing place is gone. I'm desperately homesick for that place. I had not thought a lot about the role homesickness has played in my life until I reread Falling Upward. The first time I read about the transition from the first half of life and the embrace of the second half of life, I was way too deep in my own first half of life energy to think the second half would ever be for me. But now, thanks to this book, I'm gaining an understanding of this transition and why my spiritual homesickness is more than emotional pain. It's a spiritual yearning. Spiritual homesickness has been a constant in my life.